Hi everyone, my name is Gus Medrano and I'm with Preferred Rate. I'm on Dan Frio's team, and Dan asked me to talk to you a little bit about the possibility of doing debt consolidation. Give you the reasons as to why it may work for you, why it may not. But I'm going to give you a real case scenario that I'm actually working on right now. It makes complete sense, and you're going to see why once we start the scenario. I know that parents probably told us that don't use your equity, don't pay off your debt, just get it done, don't do it. But nowadays, it's a completely different world that we live in. The rates are extremely low compared to possibly what you're paying on credit card debt or even on your car loan. Let's go ahead and get started on this scenario, and you'll see why I think that for a lot of people, this is probably going to strike a chord that maybe it is something that you may want to really take a look at. So I've got a client who actually bought his house 10 years ago for $250K. The interest rate that he got at that time on a 30-year was 4.5%. His actual principal and interest payment is $1,266. Now, this does not include escrows, meaning it doesn't include homeowners insurance, doesn't include his property taxes, it doesn't include mortgage insurance, it doesn't include property taxes, and it does not include homeowners insurance. So what we ended up doing, just so you can see what he did, if you did a refinance of $200,000, this is what he currently owes right now, as of today. He's been there 10 years. 30 years, the interest rate that he's able to get, because his credit score is a 702, was 2.875. So his new payment on just this loan right here is $829. P&I. So with that is a savings of $437. So if he decided to do nothing else but to try to get himself some breathing room, because he does have credit card debt, he'd be able to save himself $437. But what we ended up doing was looking at his credit card situation, which is he's got one credit card for $15,000. The minimum payment on it was $230 or $225, $230 was the minimum payment. And that's all he's been able to make for the last 2 or 3 years. Has been on time, but he hasn't been able to get that amount down. He's at 18% interest rate. If he continued just doing nothing except making that minimum payment, he will end up paying almost $42,000 in interest, and it would take him almost 22 years to pay off. That's crazy. His second credit card, if I remember correctly, had about $6,600 on it, almost $6,800, somewhere in there. Minimum payment was $125. The interest rate on this one was a little bit better, but not great. 12%. This one would take him almost 10 years to pay off. And the interest on this one, he would have paid about $8,000 in interest alone. So what we ended up doing was taking a look, what could we do better for him? With the rates being as low as they are, we decided, let's do a debt consolidation. So we took a loan out for $200,000. This is a conventional loan. His house is actually worth over $300-something thousand now. So we don't have to worry about mortgage insurance. We did a 30-year, stayed at the 2.875. His new payment is now $933. Principal and interest. Again, we're not worrying about escrows, strictly principal and interest. So by doing that, we were able to pay off this debt. We were able to still lower his payment from where he originally was. So now, $933, he's saving $333. But we also paid this off. So now, we add that to the savings, which is another $355. So in total savings, he's saving himself $688 a month by doing the refinance. the debt consolidation. So now what we plan on doing is I asked him to see if he could actually keep this going into his savings account for at least the next 2 years. More than likely, he said he will try to do it at least for 12 months, if not 18. He's actually able to put this into a savings account. He has no savings at all. He doesn't have any other debt except for a car payment. But we decided it wasn't smart enough to go ahead and do that. He only had 3 years left, so we didn't throw in the car payment. It just didn't make sense financially. But now he's got $688 that he's going to actually do and be able to put into a savings account and actually feel like he's actually doing something, that he's not under debt. He doesn't feel like he's choking. Everything's gone. He's got one payment. That's it. So as long as he doesn't get himself into debt again, this is real money that he's putting back into his account. So what I did, I told him, because I know that a lot of people are like, why would you want to go back into a 30-year? Why do you want to go back into a 30-year? You just already had 10 years off. Why would you want to do that? Well, the reason being is because now that he's able to do this and actually save himself money, put money away, we're going to show him, and I'm going to show you on the next chapter of this, how he's going to be able to go ahead and knock this down by paying a little bit of the principal from here and putting it onto the principal only, not paying interest on it, just strictly onto the principal every month. He's going to knock this down to where it's either a 25-year, he can also go to a 22-year, but then I'm also going to show you how to actually get down to a 15-year. So by doing that, he is going to save himself and get ahead of where he's at right now if he decides to go for the 15-year and get ahead. Even if he goes and puts this into an account for 2 years, he's still going to be 3 years ahead of where he's at right now. And that's even a bigger savings that he's going to end up seeing. Stay tuned and I'll let you see when we start paying down this principal and paying down the years. Stay tuned.
I was like, because I'm going to show you exactly how you can get down to a 25-year to a 23-year mortgage, and then I'm going to show you how to get to a 15-year mortgage, which is going to completely blow you away from where you are right now. So let's get started. Here's the amortization schedule. Here we are. Like I said, we're taking out a $225,000 loan. We're going to be at an interest rate of 2.875 on a 30-year mortgage. So let's go ahead and here's the payment, $933.51 if you decide to do nothing. So we're going to go ahead and throw in $100 extra a month. You've got a ton of savings now. You got $600 something to play with. You've already put money into your savings account. So let's go ahead and do $100 and let's see where that's going to take us. That is going to knock us down to a 25.8-year mortgage. So just by adding $100 a month to principal, so when you make this payment, all you're going to do is make sure you put $100 towards your principal payment only. You'll always have that option when you send extra money to your lender. Let's do something else. Let's go. You've got $500 left. Let's add a little bit more. Let's add $200. So you're still putting $400 and something into your savings account, but now we're going to put $200 back into our principal of the home. Now we just knocked it down to 22.5. 22 and a half years that we've knocked down your mortgage to. Not that hard. And you're still putting money in your savings account. Hopefully, because you got yourself into this credit card debt a little bit, you decided that you're not going to allow yourself to do that. So now this is money actually going into your account. You're not paying any interest on it. You're not paying 18% or anything like that towards credit cards. Or if you have student loans, which that's a whole nother subject, maybe you can put that and try to pay down your student loans. I know that's going to take a long time for some people, but at least this way you've got extra money. You're not dying in debt. So here, if we want to go to the extreme, you want to put all of it, everything you're saving now, to see what you can actually pay and get this loan down. So now we're going to go ahead and put the full amount. Let's just go ahead at $600 every month towards principal. Now we just knocked it down to a 15-year mortgage. So now we are 4 years, almost 5 years ahead of where you currently are now, just because of all the money we were able to save from your credit card debt and by refinancing into a lower interest rate than what you currently had. I think that makes financial sense. I hope you guys have taken this in and are able to see this isn't magic numbers. This is actual real numbers. This is actually from a real client of mine that was in this situation. The other thing I would suggest is, I don't know if I would necessarily put a car payment in this, but again, if your car payment is ridiculously high And if you have enough equity, it may make sense to do something like that just to get yourself from under all of the debt that you have, just to have one payment, and that is it, at this low interest rate. Hope this was helpful. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can go onto our website, go ahead and click apply. And from there, you can go ahead and go to the apply with your loan officer. I'm Gustavo. Go ahead and click on there. And I'd be more than happy to help you, help your family. And if you have any friends that maybe that you know are probably possibly drowning in some debt or would actually need some help, or even just to answer some questions. Just because you call me doesn't mean I'm going to sell you. I'm not a salesman. I'm here to help. I'm not here to hurt. So call me, any questions, I'd be more than happy to help. 847-366-3424. My phone number is 847-366-3424. You can also reach me by email at my last name Medrano, MEDRANO, @preferredrate.com.